Hello everyone, how are you all? I am Ankita Bhagat, your science teacher in Sajanand English Medium School at Nathets. So students, in our previous session, part 2, we will discuss about the helpful microorganism, means friendly microorganism, right? And the disease causing microorganism in human. So here the table is given to you. In that some disease, the common disease are given to you that affect the human actually, and their mode of transmission and the preventive method is also given. Now let us discuss in detail. So the first disease is tuberculosis. So first disease in the human, that is the tuberculosis is given. So usually we say that the tuberculosis as TB, right? So TB is the bacterial disease. It caused by bacteria and the mode of transmission is air. Mode of transmission is air. So what type of preventive measure are need in that? So we need that the patient keep in complete isolation. Keep the patient in complete isolation. Now the another disease is measles. So measles is the viral disease and it spread. It causes through the virus and the mode of transmission is air. It spread through air, right? So in that the preventive measure is same. Keep the patient in complete isolation. It is the communicable disease. That's why keep the patient in complete isolation, right? Now next we have that is chicken pox. So you all are must familiar with the chicken pox, right? So chicken pox is the small blister in our body. Small blister are on our body and the blister are filled with fluid. So it is the viral disease. It is a viral disease. It means it is caused by virus. And the mode of transmission is air and contact. So through the air and contact it spread, right? So what we need? So we need to the vaccination to be suitable age and keep the complete isolation also, right? Now the next we have that is polio. So you all are know what is polio. When we are child, at that time we take polio vaccine, right? So the polio is again a viral disease. It caused by virus. Again a virus disease. It caused by virus. And the mode of transmission, it is spread through air and water. So what type of preventive measure need? That is the take a vaccine to be the proper age, right? So the vaccination to be given at suitable age. For the polio, the suitable age is 1 to 5 years, right? So during 1 to 5 years, you take the vaccination of polio. Now the next is cholera, right? So cholera is the bacterial disease. Cholera is a bacterial disease, right? So in that the mode of transmission is contaminated water and contaminated food. So it mostly spread through the contaminated water, right? So what type of preventive method are need? So we need to maintain the personal hygiene and good sanitary habits. Right? Now the next we have that is typhoid. So typhoid is again a bacterial disease. It caused by bacteria and the mode of transmission is contaminated water. So what you need? You need to eat the properly cooked food and boiled drinking water. So always drink the boiling water, right? And the vaccination required the vaccination to be given at the suitable age. The next we have that is the hepatitis A. It again a viral disease. It means it caused by virus and the mode of transmission is water. So what we need? We need to take the boiled water. We need to drink the boiled water and the vaccination at the proper age. Right? So after that the malaria. After that the other disease is malaria. And the malaria is caused by protozoa. You know, just we are discuss about the plasmodium. Right? And the mode of transmission is mosquito. What type of mosquito? That are the female mosquito, female anopheles. Not a male anopheles, right? So what type of preventive measure required? So the preventive measure is use the mosquito net and spray the insecticides and control breeding of mosquito by not allowing the water collect in the surrounding. Right? So these are the disease in human that is caused by microorganism, right? Now next we have the disease causing microorganisms in animal, right? So the several microorganisms not only causes the disease in humans. So such type of microorganisms not only cause disease in human, they also cause disease in plants and animals both. For example, the anthrax. The anthrax is the dangerous in human and the cattle disease. It is the anthrax is the dangerous in human, in our and the cattle disease. It is caused by bacterium. It means it is the bacterial disease, right? And the foot and mouth disease of the cattle is caused by virus. So the foot related and the mouth related disease in the cattle which is caused by virus, it is the viral disease, right? Now the next we have that is disease causing microorganism in plant. Now let us see what type of disease causing in plants. So the microorganism cause disease in plants also, such as in wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange juice, apple and other disease reduce the yield of crop. So they what do? They reduce the product of crop. Now see here table is given. So the plant disease that is caused by microorganism, right? So the first one is that citrus canker. The citrus canker is caused by bacteria. It is the bacterial disease and the mode of transmission is air. Now next we have that is rust of wheat. Rust of wheat is the fungal disease which is caused by fungi, right? And the mode of transmission is air and seeds. So on the wheat there are the yellow spots are created. So these are the fungi. It is the fungal disease, right? Now yellow vein, mosaic of bhindi. So the yellow vein that appears in the bhindi leaves. Suppose it is the bhindi leaves, so the yellow veins are appears on the bhindi leaves. So it is the viral disease. It caused by virus, and the mode of transmission is insect in that. Now we know about the harmful microorganism and useful microorganism also, right? So the microorganisms are harmful as well as useful also. And we also know about that there are the some disease, there are the so many disease causing by microorganism. We just learn about that, right? So for that, how to avoid the spreading microorganism? For that, there are some precaution. Now let us discuss. The first precaution is wash your hand before eating and after preparing food, or after using toilet. That means when we eat food without hand wash, there are some microorganisms are already present in our hand, and the microorganisms are shifted to the food. It means we directly eat microorganism. So that's why before eating food, you must be your hand wash. And moreover, in our house, there are the major microorganisms are exist in toilet. So that's why before, after using toilet, you have to do hand wash, right? Now the second precaution is cover your mouth with handkerchief, right? When you sneeze or cough, while you cough or sneeze. Why? Because in that there are in a one droplet there are the thousands of microorganisms. So it means they are just releasing a number of microorganisms into the air. So then the virus may enter in our body when we breathe and we cause infection, right? So that's why always cover your mouth when you sneezing, right? Now the third precaution is keep yourself away from that people that are already suffering from any disease, right? So we already know some disease are communicable disease. So the communicable disease, it means they are transmitted to infected person to healthy person. So they are mostly spread through microorganism, right? And so the person already infected, already suffering from any disease, maintain the distance between them, right? And you know very well, you all are familiar with the corona. So it is also the communicable disease. That's why our government allows to keep the social distancing, right? So these are the third precaution. Now the fourth precaution is do not eat food which is not fresh and not properly cooked, right? It means we should not eat that type of food. We must be eat fresh food and properly cooked food. So these are the precautions are useful, right? Now the next we have that is food poisoning. Now let us discuss in detail. Now let us discuss food poisoning, right? So what is food poisoning? For example, if we keep the leftover food on the table entire night, if we keep the leftover food on the table entire night, now what happened? So we see that, we observe that in the morning there are some new members are sat along with food. So along with the food, we even find some fungus are growing on food. So what we do in such cases? So here, needless to say, we quick throw in dustbin, right? Because it is spoiled, right? Because if we consume the food set by fungus, now what happen? The microorganism, here given the microorganism that grow on our food and it produce the toxic substance. So toxic substance, it means the poisonous substance. So the microorganism rapidly grow on our food and it produce the toxic substance. Toxic substance, it means poisonous substance, right? And it make our food poisonous. It made our food poisonous, causing serious illness. It causing the serious illness or even death. So it is very important to preserve food. Now in the simple word, we can say that the ill effect on health caused by the consumption of contaminated food is called food poisoning. Again I repeat, the ill effect on health caused by consumption of contaminated food is called food poisoning, right? And the food poisoning are caused by, it is the toxic secretion by bacteria, fungi, parasites and pathogens, right? So it is very important that we preserve the food to prevent it from being spoiled, right? So there are some preservative method is given. Now next we have that is food preservation, and the different method also given. Let us discuss. So first question arises in our mind, how do we preserve cooked food at home? How do we preserve the cooked food at our home? So you know that the bread left unused under moist condition is attacked by fungi, it attacked by fungus, you know very well. And the microorganism spoil our food. The microorganisms spoil the bread and they spoil our food. and the spoiled food emits the bad smell. It emits the bad smell, right? And has the bad taste and change the color also. Why it is? Its spoiling of food is a chemical change or chemical reaction? Yes, it is. It is the chemical reaction. Right? So you all are, now the moreover, you all are eat the mango in summer season. I think all your favorite, right? So you eat the mango in summer season, but we observe that if we could not eat them for a long few days, if we not eat the mangoes for a few days, so later we found that they will spoil and rotten. It means not fresh enough to eat, right? But you also observe that the pickle at our home does not spoil for a long time. Why it is does not spoil? But the mango is only spoil to only few days. Why? So for that there are some preservative method is there. Now let us discuss. Okay. So there are two type of preservative method, that is artificial preservative and the natural preservative method, right? So first we are discuss about artificial preservative method. So the artificial preservative method is, it means the chemical method. It is the chemical preservative method, right? And it is man-made and it prepared in factories or it prepared in industries. It mostly used in industries, right? For example, sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite, potassium metabisulfite, and the citric acid. That is not given in your book, citric acid. So these all are the common preservatives, and these are also used in jams and the squeezes to check their spoilage. It is also used in a jams, right? Now the next is the natural preservative. So what is meaning of natural preservative? The natural preservatives are obtained from nature. That's why we can say that it is the natural preservative. The example of natural preservative is salt, sugar, lemon juice and oil. That is the oil spices. Right? So these all are the natural preservative. But students, our session is over here. Now in next session, we are discuss the remaining preservative method and the nitrogen fixation. I hope you all are understood very well. Thank you. Have a nice day.